Good evening to DeFiChain News on the 8th May 2024, the news show that provides you with the latest updates on DeFiChain project. If you like the show, then let's go crazy on the like button. It wakes up the algorithm and helps the project. Subscribe and click the bell button. Yeah, today is the last show, last chance for you to like. And I would like to welcome my co-moderator and expert of DeFiChain, Lord Mark, last time to introduce you here on the show. News show.
Good
of
evening.
DeFiChain. How are you?
Yeah, I'm fantastic. I mean, a little bit sentimental that we say goodbye to the news shit today, but also really stoked for the road that lies ahead. Always good to see you, my friend, on Wednesday. And yeah, I think we're gonna rock the show. We've got a really interesting program today, I think.
Yeah, we thought we make a little bit different show today. Yeah, we have no headlines. We are just talking a little bit, looking back, what happened, how we started, and a personal recap from us. And that would be the last show. You mentioned it. Wednesday is a good day. Yeah, I'm always positive, but today I feel also a little bit sad because one chapter is going to an end. For sure, a new one will start. But yeah, sentimental.
Exactly. And that's why we said we want to explain a little bit why the news show as it is at the moment and has been for the last 3 years. And we've done 150 shows nearly. Third birthday or third anniversary is gonna be, I think, 12th of May. So this we in 3 days, of 4 days, 3 years ago we started, and it started in a completely interesting manner in some way because we both felt there's so much to talk about and how should people learn about DeFiChain. And so I said,
Correct.
we need we need to do something. DC, would you be happy to do a news show with me? And this crazy guy said, yes, why not? Let's start. And that's how I started
Let's
this
do
year,
it.
right?
Yeah, 3 years ago, the community was a little bit smaller. There was a dedicated developer team in Singapore. Luckily, you were staying near the team, so you can go to the office and ask them, yeah, what's happening? Tell me, yeah, the new hot stuff you are bringing to DeFiChain, and then we talked to you and explained, yeah, what is happening. Because at the beginning, our native DeFiChain or blockchain is the UTXO model, means every hard fork brings an update, and only a dedicated team worked on it. And a lot of things happened, and we had to explain what is behind it. Why do we change the code of Bitcoin?
Exactly. Why is there a light wallet? Why is there a desktop wallet? What are the new features? What's this funny new thing that's gonna happening? And I think a lot of people like the idea to get information. And so the Wednesday for the news show became like a staple in the communication of DeFiChain. And honestly, if I would have known that we're gonna do like 350 videos on the channel, I would have maybe never started. But it started as let's try, let's do that. And the first shows were also really awkward and funny. I don't want to say that we sound so much better now because we are still not native speakers, but we said, okay, we have to do it in English because the German one is good, but we need an English show. We want to be an international project. So, yeah, we started. Funny headphones at the beginning and a mic here and looked like a pilot and
Yeah,
had no background. It was good, right?
a little different setup, yeah,
Yeah.
but we also improved our skills and setup, and now we are at a stage where we are currently, and maybe it's now time for someone else to take over and make a new thing out of the DeFi news. And the point where we thought, well, maybe it's time to say not goodbye, but to end this format was the big launch of Metachain, long-awaited update to have an EVM layer. We will talk about this also a little bit later, where everyone can build on DeFiChain. And with this, the focus moved from the core developer team to the projects on Metachain. And we thought, well, maybe that was not our original purpose to have a news show, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Because at the beginning it was all features, infrastructure, DeFi chain, core development. And now DeFi Metachain is, like you said, launched, and all the projects, they do their own marketing, they do their own kind of information on Twitter, on YouTube, whatever. And there's not so much interaction with the core development team necessary anymore because it's now building on DeFiChain. And we said the original idea is kind of not there anymore. We had a very interesting how our headlines changed over time. It was like really light wallet, desktop wallet, I don't know, masternodes, whatever. And these topics, they are all gone. Now it's like DeFi Metachain, DeFi Metachain, DeFi Metachain. And we said, okay, maybe the projects can talk for themselves. And maybe somebody else wants to make a DeFi Metachain show or something like that. But maybe there were people, and people approached you, me, and Ewald, and they said, okay, I would like to take over the show, or they don't want to take over the show. So we want to maybe give you a frame what the DeFiChain news show was, that you maybe have a better understanding. What I think for the official YouTube channel of DeFiChain would be, in my personal opinion, or maybe also in yours, appropriate. Because everybody can make a DeFiChain show on their own channel. Hey, it's a free world. Be my guest, do whatever you want. DC, what was the format actually, and what did we say and what did we not say maybe, and what was the intention? Because you were kind of the scorekeeper here, and you were kind of the person who said many times, no, we are not talking about that. That's not part of the game here. Maybe you start. What was the intention?
Yeah, thanks. You mentioned a good point. Yeah, it is the official YouTube channel of
Exactly.
DeFiChain. It's not our own private channel.
Yeah.
So we are here representing the project DeFiChain. Yeah, and that was our intention to promote this project and report or present things in a very positive way, showing the people what is happening, looking more forward than backward. So more concentrating on what is coming than on what happened. For sure, there were the one or other maybe negative point on DeFiChain. You remember the exploit or the DUSD. We also reported about this, but in a way that you can look forward. And I think that was our intention to say here, that's a project. We are not in a standstill. We are looking forward. We want to improve things. We want to build. We want to make DeFiChain better. And I think that's the format we want to see also in future, right?
Exactly. I would love to see it like this, because I think we've been attacked by many people out there on YouTube and social media and whatever for what we do, and this is propaganda and this is like kind of one-sided information. No, it was never intended to be like this. We spoke about the negative things, but we were not constantly bashing other people, pointing fingers, and whining around like little crybabies what is not happening. We wanted to give a forward look what's happening, because the whining and bitching and blaming was done in other places. And we said, let's keep it clean. This is like a clean environment, and this is the happy DeFiChain show. If you like it or not, we left it to the people, and a lot of people were watching it. And I think that would be nice to do it, because that's the official channel to inform. Not that there's no problems, there are enough problems, but we wanted to present everything in a positive way. Maybe that you also understand why we did it. Not you, DC, but maybe some people outside. So where should people go if they have an idea and they want to be part of this project and want to help the project in the future? Is it you to decide? Do you want to be the new judge or something like this?
We said it should someone different, not we, because we invented DeFiChain news, and maybe we are not happy with any changes, and should be a more neutral person. So reach out Ewald. He will decide who can take over the part, news show, or however you can call it. And you said a framework, a positive one, looking forward one, but the rest is free to you. You can invent it in a new way, and it should be invented in a new way. So we are closing the chapter of native DeFiChain. A lot of development happened. Now, for sure, it goes on, but the focus will be more on the DMC side, on the projects. And now everyone out there who is willing to support this project can jump in and make a new show about Metachain and the projects.
Reach out. We're going to link you up with Ewald, and then you can present your ideas. Cool. So that was the beginning and how it ends in some way. And now we said we're gonna do a little history lesson. That was quite fun. We had one thing that was very important for the news show, and that's were the thumbnails. The thumbnails, they were super freaking boring at the beginning. They became more crazy over time, and some were really epic, thanks to Ewald. And we picked out, I picked one, DC picked four, I have to say. And um,
No. I have to correct you. Sorry to say. I picked 5, you picked 2, and in the end we have 5 because we picked
you
2
picked
same.
similar ideas, and that shows how good we work together. And I think that's what we want to do. And let's talk about the first one that we picked, and why did I pick it. And then I hand over the word. This was the first thumbnail in a new style where we said we have to come up with a new thumbnail game, because everybody out there is using some more crazy stuff, and ours were like Tutu sitting there saying DeFiChain News Show looked like the German television or something like this in the 1970s. And we said we do it different now, and we got a ton of shit for these thumbnails, because how can DC do that crazy pose, and how stupid. But people, after I think another 30 to 50 shows, everybody started liking the thumbnails. I hope so, at least. DC, what happened behind that thumbnail? Why is it, oh my god, I did it?
Who can remember it? It's a very early stage. You said it, 2021, and in this early phase of DeFiChain, we had a lot of kind of hype cycles here, because every time a new feature were launched, we saw people rushing in at the start of liquidity mining or the DEX. There was no new show, it was before our start. But this was one of a bigger update in a very early phase of the news show. And it was the start of locked or frozen masternodes. And the start was only available for self-hosted masternodes. So people get a kind of FOMO. I cannot put my DFE into kind of frozen masternode because Bake or Cake is not supporting it. They are earning so much rewards and me not. And it was really crazy. So the thumbnail was really good.
Yeah. It's fantastic. Yeah, that was a good one. We both picked this one together. So the next one, I think, is epic. I love it. It's like
one of the best.
Hamlet here, to be or not to be. That's the question. Turing complete, yes or no? I don't know how Ewald came up with that idea. Do you see what happened? What happened behind? What's the story behind the thumbnail? I think most people might have an idea, but tell us the true story.
I really like the thumbnail. Thanks, Ewald. That was an amazing idea, putting Mark in this pose. And the background was Turing complete, yes or no. It was the first discussion. Should we have EVM on DeFiChain or not? We were a kind of software fork from Bitcoin, so means code is kind of law. No one can change it without a hard fork. And the question raised up, should we move to EVM, have an EVM layer? What is the advantage, disadvantage? And that was kind of start for Metachain, which launched 2 years later. A little bit more, but it took 2 years.
Absolutely. Took some time. So the next one was also one that we both picked, and that's really interesting, because it was maybe not the absolute highlight of 3 years, but I think the story was just so funny. It's all about Mickey Mouse, who made it on DeFiChain finally, and it took Mickey we made jokes about that already, because Mickey was so useless and helpless. She never made it on DeFiChain. So every voting, she didn't get voted. And I think it was 2 or 3 voting cycles that finally the community decided now Disney is part of the D-token system. And finally, after she made it on DeFiChain, and I thought it's really a cool ticker, because Disney, who doesn't like Disney? At the end, do you see what happened? Everything went wrong as soon as Disney.
No, not everything. So the normal procedure was new D-token were voted by the ticker council, then the pools were created, and a couple of days later, the block rewards kicked in. And in the time between launch and block rewards, everyone could put the liquidity in so that the pools are filled up in a kind of way. And what happened? Someone thought, cool, Mickey is now available, or Disney. Let's buy a big stack of the Disney, but the liquidity was not sufficient on the DEX, and he moved the pool ratio out of kind of control. So the ratio was so far away from normal values that swaps were no longer possible via code. Yeah, so it was really limit in the code, and yeah, then the big question was, what can we do? Because swap is not possible. We cannot change the code without a hard fork. And now we have a ticker or a DEX pool, which is not usable. The developers found a way and needed, I think, one whole day, to remove or to move the pool ratio into the right direction. Because via command line, you could add liquidity and remove, not in the exact ratio, with a slightly different ratio. That was allowed via code. And now they added and removed liquidity several times in a kind of loop to slightly move the pool ratio into the right direction and kind of rescue Mickey.
Rescue Mickey.
Very funny.
Yeah.
You see, attacks can be used, but can be also used in a wrong way.
In a wrong way.
And
there's always somebody who screws something up. That was awesome. That was a big milestone for DeFiChain in some way. It finally happened, and I like the thumbnail because first of all, it shows so much positivity. It was hold on, it's 1.5 years ago, no, 2.5 years ago, and this
long
was
time.
when longer, right? 2.5 years.
Long time,
ago, and this was actually when you said before, when the D token came to DeFi chain. And I think that changed the game. This was actually the birth of real world assets in crypto. And I love it. And maybe DC, the hard fork name was at that time. What hard fork was then?
That was Fort Cunning, and a lot of other smaller updates after Fort Cunning. So was the name of the hard fork, and maybe kind of history lesson for everyone not familiar with the naming. They started in a very early stage to give all the hard forks a name, starting with the letter A and then B and so on. And every name was a subway station in Singapore, right?
Exactly. So it was very kind of Singapore driven because the core development team and Cake at that time was heavily positioned here in Singapore. It still is, but that's why they said, okay, that's a cool idea. Give every hard fork a station name. And the first one was the A and started with Ang Mo Kio, is in the center of Singapore. And it's actually not such a famous station, but it had the letter A. And that's how everything started. And then the second one, DC, the B. What was B?
Bayfront and Bayfront Gardens. There are a lot of updates and improvement about our decks.
Yeah. And Bayfront's actually a cool station because there's Marina Bay Sands, so this very famous, iconic hotel with the swimming pool on the top. So Bayfront Station is, at least tourists know Bayfront. And the next one, C, is also very famous amongst tourists and party goers, DC. So there's a lot of party, there's a lot of clubs and bars there. That's Clarke Quay. And what did they do in Clarke Quay?
What was it? Customer rewards to pool pairs, and
it doesn't sound so exciting. Actually, what happened?
It was a minor one. Yeah, I think the next one was again a little bit bigger, and I think the early birds of DeFiChain remember it. Dakota was it, and with Dakota, the collateral for masternodes were reduced from 1 million DFI to 20,000.
Crazy. Okay, 1 million DFI. Yeah. Good. Okay, the next one was E. Started with E. Eunos, not Uenos. Eunos, and the Eunos Paya, hard to pronounce. So some had like a main release and kind of a secondary release. And this was also block rewards scheme was updated, new staking lockup periods. Yeah, also something that I think people don't really remember so much. But then came Fort Canning, and you explained before this were the tokens, right?
Maybe one addition to Yunus. Interchain exchange was a kind of wording for our atomic swap at this time.
This was the freaking atomic swap. Okay, see, I couldn't. Okay, it was called interchain exchange. That went so freaking wrong. Okay, good. And then we had Fort Cannings. This was the D-token system. I think this was the biggest change from staking and freezing to real-world assets, synthetic stocks. That was crazy.
And was not only one, right? Fort Canning Road, Fort Canning Crunch. So several updates.
Yeah. And then we said, okay, now we're gonna see a new era, and we wanted to give it some name outside of Singapore. So we did a voting for the community. I remember with Chi. I don't remember the other ones that we had, but it was Grand Central Station. Was actually, that's a big station in New York, and so the community voted for, let's pick Grand Central Station. And this was important to see what was introduced at Grand Central.
On-chain governance, our today's voting system. Before we had the signature posted on GitHub. Yeah, totally different.
Yeah, what was a nightmare. But this took actually quite long with this on-chain governance tool, right? We were talking about this long time, and then finally it happened. And it works. I just voted today again. And works pretty smoothly. If you're a masternode holder, then you can still use it. Cool.
So,
Last
now
thumbnail.
one is missing. Correct. One hard fork is
Exactly.
missing, and it was a big one last year with our launch of Metachain. A new era was the title of the thumbnail, and I think it's also a new era of complete DeFiChain project, like we mentioned before. And now it's also time for you out there, the community, to form this new era. I think with the projects on Metachain, we have the best tool that everyone can do the best to push DeFiChain to the next level. I'm pretty sure it will be a good episode. So episode 1, native side, more or less closed. Now we are entering episode 2.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's our journey through
history lesson finished. Now let's talk about personnel. And now I let you start first, because I did it in German. I went first. DC, if you think about 3 years, 150 episodes English, because we did 150 episodes German, and we built shows, fireside chat. We did what was the English? The tech talk. You did the tech talk. We had we had a couple of other shows as well. If you think back, what stuck to your head? What's your conclusion? What's your what did you learn over the last 3 years?
Really a lot, yeah. But maybe if you ask me 5 years younger and would say, hey, let's do a news show for 3 years, I would say, you are crazy, you're totally stupid. Me on YouTube, never ever. But it happened, yeah. It was not planned, and it was a really good thing for me personal to do it now for 3 years. I learned so much in this time. I learned for sure about DeFiChain. I learned about communities. I learned about all the mindset on social media. Maybe a positive formulation. You are more direct in what's happening there. It was a great journey. It was a journey with a lot of help around. I want to emphasize here Ewald, our big kind of support in the background, never here on stage, but especially at the beginning, he helped so much to explain us how does YouTube work, how can we stream, every time available, day or night, helping and kind of the artist of our thumbnails. We mentioned it before. Big thank you, Ewald. Great to have you And I say have you because not only the past, you are still here and helping us. Without you, for sure, not possible. What I also learned is you out there, our viewers looking on us every Wednesday. I think the community is a big advantage, a big plus point on DeFiChain. You are really awesome. Without all the supporters out there, for sure, we would never done this for this long time. We mentioned it before, it was not our personal YouTube channel. There were no personal benefits. We did it because it was also kind of fun. We liked it. We get a lot of positive feedback. For sure, there were the negative ones. Thank you also to them because I learned also to handle them. I said now I'm totally prepared on my job site because the level you get on social media is by far more than on the personal side. Yeah, you mentioned it, or you will mention it in an anonymous way. Everyone can say what they want because they feel safe. If you are talking face to face, it looks totally different. Yeah? And I learned a lot about how should you react if you are confronted with hate, lies, whatever the people had in mind in a bad way. But that was the only small part. I want to highlight this. The positive one was more. We started to inform you, and I think it was a good thing. Now we explained. Time to say, or not goodbye. We are handing over to another one. Big thank you to you, Mark. Yeah, without you, also for sure not happening for 3 years. It was so much fun. You are kind of also artist on the technique side. Yeah,
Yeah,
all the
the
things
people
happen.
saw that all the little shit that happened, and I crashed the
Um,
system so many times. I know.
I still have to laugh about the scene where you put on your glass with water and say, okay, water is running into my PC. I'm short away, Daniel. Talk, please. I have to check if everything is fine. Yeah, it was great. For sure, that was the funny part. Um, I would. I never met you in real life. We mentioned it also on the German side. But I learned you can get true friends also in a virtual way. Awesome.
Absolutely,
Thank
absolutely.
you. We will meet in future for sure. Then we can post it on X. And it was a good journey for me. And the journey is now just in the next step. We are not away. We are not going away. We are just shifting our focus. For sure, I will participate in one or other show around DeFiChain or the projects. And yeah, that was kind of my resume. I feel really a little bit sad to close this chapter, but I think it's now a good point to hand over and focus on other things.
Exactly.
How are
Nice,
you feeling?
nice conclusion. Love it. Love it. It's hard to follow up. Yeah, mm, sad and smiling eye. So I think we were always the positive side of DeFi chain. So we also don't wanna be the crybabies now today. It was fun. It was a lot of work. I learned a lot, honestly. Like you said that before. Um, if you would have told me, hey, Mark, we're gonna do 350 videos on YouTube, it's not even our channel, we just do it for a community. I was like, what the heck, are you crazy? For sure not. But we started, that's how things start. You do a video, and then there are 2 and 3 and 4, and then there are 350 at the end. So that's a big success story, I think. People ask, I think, us sometimes, how can you still be positive if prices are going down, if things are falling apart, if people hate on you? I think this is also something what I learned. You don't give up, you just carry on and you continue and keep positive mindset. So it was for sure a big learning experience for me because there haven't been many jobs out there that I've done for 3 years. I've jumped jobs quite often and left the country to explore new worlds and stuff. But I've been here for 3 years already, and I think that's a good learning for me. Um, Another thing, you need a strong partner if you want to do a project. And without UDC, I couldn't have done it. Thank you so much for being part of this amazing journey. You were always like the rock in the crazy waters out there. You always said, no, we're not saying that, and no, let's keep focused. And we have to be on time. That was the most fun thing because we had a lot of technical issues, and I was doing normally the technical side here, and DC was kind of, we have to go live now because you were the timekeeper, and thanks a lot for that. Otherwise, the show would have been 15 minutes late sometimes. That was awesome. Yeah, and we're gonna catch up. We're gonna meet in real life, hopefully 2024. And then the whole world's gonna know about that. Thank you so much. You became a real good friend. That's very important for me. I never thought that's possible. Ewald, another good friend that I made. Ewald, I met a couple of times already because he's sometimes also in Singapore. Thanks for your help. Thanks for the thumbnails. Thanks for showing us the ropes on YouTube. We were complete idiots at the beginning. We didn't know how to stream. We didn't know how to do. We didn't know how to upload anything. Without Ewald, there would not have been a show, but he was the pro here. Maybe one last thing that I want to mention, because we mentioned the people out there sometimes. It taught me a lot about social media, and it taught me a lot about humanity and the people out there. And I want to just sum that up. There's a lot of really awesome people out there. Community is fantastic. I think that's one of the biggest assets of DeFiChain still. There's still more people who love DeFiChain than hate DeFiChain, but there are also some complete retards out there. And these are these keyboard warriors who write shitty comments, who have to make a problem with everything, who hide behind avatars, fake names. So a big middle finger up for you. Fuck you, haters out there. Today I'm allowed to say that. I don't care what you write. Because I know the story behind. I know it better. And if you love us or if you hate us, we are always on your mind. And I think that's a very good quote. I want to end it. But like I said, 3 amazing years here. And it was a good time this year. Absolutely.
Yeah. So we are at the end, right? 2 words. And like mentioned before, we are not saying goodbye. Yeah, we are here staying in the DeFiChain ecosystem.
We are here to stay. We are not leaving. If you still don't understand it.
You are heavily involved in JeffSphere. I'm also supporting it. And yeah, we will push DeFiChain to the next level and make it great again, or?
Exactly. We are not leaving. We are not jumping ship like others. We are here and supporting DeFiChain forever. Thanks a lot, DC. It was awesome.
Thanks a lot to you. Thanks a lot to everyone out there.
Thanks to the viewers. We have some real true fans out there. And yeah, I don't want to mention names today because we're going to miss some, but some were really here all the time. Like Christian Peterson. We have to name him because he was here, I think, every single show.
Correct. Yeah, in this way, I would say, see you soon.
See you soon, guys.
Some channel formats. We will see.
See you on DeFi Metachain, JeffSphere, what other channel, what other project. Love you all. Thanks for watching. Have a great evening. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.